hope everybody can hear me out in the world. Um, we was having some technical issues because I haven't done this in a while, and you know how it is, y'all. Hold on, make sure I don't spill my water. Y'all be out here wilding, and so y'all have to bring me back. I have to stop what I'm doing because y'all wilding. Make sure my big head is up in this frame. Okay. We got a lot going on. We got a lot to talk about, but welcome back. I don't even know where the clap said. Let's see. Them not it. Maybe not. Um, I am Nicole Coco Patrice. Y'all already know that there's just so much going on in the world right now, so we just gonna get right into it. I hope y'all are safe and doing well because y'all kinfolk, y'all kinfolk out here wilding. Um, so let's just get into it. We got lots of turbulence is the cute word for it going on out here in the world, mostly in LA. And you may have seen I did a video before on Karen Bass, and I don't think I talked too much about Governor Gavin Newsom, Newscum, as Trump eloquently calls him. But it's it's something wrong. It's something very wrong with whatever y'all got going on out there. I'm not trying to judge y'all because we got our own issues over here in Chicago. So I trust and believe I'm feeling it for you. For those who are not the party, or I'm not even gonna say party because people get mad when you say it's a certain party doing things. But for all the stuff people say about Trump and MAGA and how unhinged and uneducated these people are, according to you, Trump and MAGA are unhinged, uneducated, racist, hateful, spiteful, evil. But I've not seen any of those activities coming from the Trump supporters. Because if they were, they'd be plastered all over the news. If Trump and his supporters were as crude and violent as you all warned us, Project 2025, everybody was about to be in chains. It was about to be Django Unchained, chained 2025, according to y'all, if we didn't vote for Miss Kamala Harris, or Joe, you don't vote for me if you ain't black. I might be here, but I'm not Biden. But I haven't seen any of that stuff because, again, it would have been plastered all over the news. All I've been seeing is violence from the left, and applauded and justified and excused. And as I explained before, I am very much feeling called to speak on especially the hypocrisy within the black community, wherein especially black women are especially crying about being unprotected, especially concerned about not having a voice or not being protected by black men, especially, but then excusing violence. I don't know how you live in those two worlds and they resolve with each other. It's like singing in a whole nother key. It may sound good to you, right? You may feel good while you're doing it, but those around you are very aware that this is not your calling. Okay. So I'm I'm just trying to make sense of all this. So bear with me here. I might get a little frustrated in my confusion as we move on here. But we've had some unfortunate events just recently. And so let's just start out talking about that a little bit, just on the home front here in Chicago. Now, as many of you know, if you are residents of Chicago, we are not known for our policing Okay, we're not known, or at least we're known for it, but not in the greatest way. Okay, and on a serious note, we had a police officer who was fallen, who died on duty, killed on duty. Some would say murdered on duty, but we'll get into that. Krystal Rivera, she is or was 36 years old, Puerto Rican descent, I believe, has a 10-year-old daughter who I would like everyone to keep in mind while you're out here doing what you're doing, okay? Because I don't know about y'all, but I I needed my parents at 10 years old. At least one of them, okay? Definitely my mother, okay? Like, let's be for real. Mamas be carrying, okay? And from what I understand, Krystal Rivera was a single mother and taking care of her 10-year-old daughter. And if you are a woman police officer in Chicago, you got to be cut from a different cloth because the men don't even want to do it. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay. So much respect. Rest in peace. All of the respect to Krystal Rivera and her legacy, her family. I hope that they are being comforted in this time. I hope that her daughter is able to look back and see that she was cared for and that she was loved and that her mother did not pass in vain. Uh, and I think that's going to be up to many of us to make sure that that happens. That's not the 10-year-old's job. That's not her family's job necessarily when you've got such a public story unraveling around the circumstances of her passing. So let's just get into that. I don't even know where my windows be going. Like, I had all my little notes was just right here. They were right there. Oh, help me. I got this. I really got this. Bear with me, y'all. I'm just trying to save the world, you know what I mean? One YouTube at a time. What are you doing? All right. What are you doing? Okay? If you took a moment to stop tearing up LA for this, I appreciate it. Okay? But let's get into it. So, all right. Sorry. All right. So, I just wanted to go through my little notes here, but we got Chicago burning from inside and out, and it's gonna escalate because, from what I hear, the anti-ICE protests will be here tomorrow from LA to Chicago. I think is how they're hashtagging it, and it seems to be very, very well organized, very well orchestrated. Feels a lot like 2020 Black Lives Matter, and I just want to say, quite frankly, I pay too many taxes for y'all to keep tearing up stuff. And you definitely don't want to start doing that stuff around me and mine because at this point, I can't make no promises to you. I might be that Trump supporter that y'all that y'all see on the news, okay? Because I can't understand the crashing out on all levels, especially from American citizens, um, because y'all don't have these issues with the law when it comes to going out of the country. Okay, we just went through Brittany Griner, like we just did that. We just realized that hey, you can't take your drugs to a country that doesn't like drugs. Y'all all know don't go do that in Dubai. Right? I see y'all all in the comments. Ooh, if you going out of town, ooh, you better not act like that in Dubai. They don't play that. Right. Brazil just changed some visa rules and or I think they never really had a visa for a tourist and so now they're like, "Nope, y'all need one." I've seen people acting a fool in Jamaica. That girl was throwing pineapples off the little boat cuz she was mad about her change and there were enough people in the comments that were like, why she acting like that? So I was like, okay, we doing we got a good ratio of sensible people. I know I can't expect it to be like 50-50, 68, 70-30. I can't expect that. I know it's always going to be in the low in the 30s and below of the common sense folk. Okay, 30 is really reaching. Okay, but I'm seeing like a very 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 minuscule amount of common sense. I don't know. Maybe these people are all at work and they don't have time to be commenting on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube videos about riots and Chicago police activities and crimes in Chicago. I don't know. Or our disgraced 50 aldermen, especially are, as Zoe Lee and Danny C from Chicago Flips Red, shout out to them, love to call them the Hispanic KKK. Okay. And it's very much giving. Okay. We'll get into that as well. But let's just talk about this. So we are burning right now from the inside and out. And it's very obvious with the anti-ICE uprisings, okay? The police being completely undermined and our city totally just unraveling at the hands of Brandon Johnson and his lackeys and incompetent, cohorts, as well as JB Pritzker, who doesn't give a hoot about our communities because he's set his eyes on the White House probably long before the Blago tapes were released, okay, where he was trying to force his way into treasurer and bribe his way through with Blago, okay, with the whole arrangement for Obama's seat. I don't think that every person who voted Democrat in this last election is a bad person or a complete idiot. However, I do think there's a lack of synapses in the brain. Just a small, like they're just, it might be, I don't know, something Elon maybe could fix with the Neuralink. I don't know. But see, y'all y'all talk crazy to Elon. But then last week, y'all was cool with Elon because he was cussing out Trump. And you guys just, again, it just keeps leading me to believe that this is the zombie apocalypse. That the zombies were the liberals. Okay. Um, but back to Krystal Rivera. She's 36 years old, 4 years on the police force. And June, what was this? I think it was the 6th. Let's just double check. So June 5th. Okay. So it's only been 4 days. And I don't know about y'all and y'all understanding of forensic evidence. Okay. But 4 days is not that much time to figure things out, especially in a fast moving or multiple scene crime. Okay. So I'm not saying that that's the case here, but I'm just letting you know that y'all are not forensic testers, okay, or whatever you call them, investigators, and you got to consider these things, okay? If you're going to start doing analysis, you got to start considering that realm of knowledge that you don't do, okay? Okay. And so on top of that, you have Chicago who has a consent decree under because of the Laquan McDonald situation. So if you're not familiar, real quick, Laquan McDonald, 16 shots. He was with the knife going towards the Burger King. The cop shot him 16 times. I think that's what it was, 16 shots. That's what he was screaming out. So all of that was covered up. Rahm Emanuel, the city council, people was acting like they ain't know what had happened. But ultimately, the cop involved was convicted, and the DOJ said, what the hell's going on in Chicago? Y'all need some help. Let's lay this out. And then you got whatever's been going on in the last few years since COVID, okay? And then on top of that, you got the FBI crime statistics being reported, the uniform crime reports being reported differently. You got Safety Act going on where people are getting let out on ankle bracelets because, it's the thing to do when you've committed 3 or 4 crimes. We just gonna go ahead and keep letting you out, even for violent offenses, even though y'all didn't sell it to us like that. You didn't sell it like that. But then after it passed, the judges, their understanding was, he's good. Oh, yeah, he shot a couple people. It's fine. Oh, he robbed a couple people. It's fine. Oh, drugs and guns and kidnapping. He might be okay. I mean, like, can he afford a plane ticket out of here? I don't even think he knows where the airport is. Like, I don't know the logic that's happening here, but we're making a lot of excuses. Clearly, a lot of mental gymnastics, or we're not thinking at all. And especially some of these judges, because, hey, they don't live in your neighborhood. They don't go where you go. They don't have these problems. So they're not concerned. But I think as the people who live on the south sides and the west sides of Chicago, with your crime rates being what they are, I'm not blaming you. I could, but I'm not going to blame you. Us, I'm going to include me. Okay, I'm going to put me in there too. Okay. We could be culpable of some of what's happening here. And we can break that down. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. But back to Krystal Rivera. She's on a tactical force. Let me pull up my facts here, okay? So there's a pursuit. I don't know where it's getting these dates from, because this is June 5th, not May 5th, child. Okay, so June 5th, they're pursuing an assailant. And basically, this person flees when they see he has a gun. They're on like a tactical force, okay? They see he has a gun. He continues after them trying to stop him, whatever that means. Fled on foot, sounds like, into an apartment. The apartment door was open, which allowed them to continue their pursuit. Per their statements, I am not saying the police are not lying or are lying or whatever. I'm just telling you what the official statements are. That's the only thing I have to go on. Okay. And so this is where we got to slow the fuck down. Unless you have other evidence, you cannot go off of other evidence. Were you there? Okay. Who we gonna believe? The police or the criminal? Yes, we can say we're gonna believe the criminal, but is that the precedent you want to set? Just saying. Okay. And yes, I know police lie. I know police, John Burge, all that. We had lots of the Laquan McDonald, okay? We got a lot of problems with police. But overwhelmingly, the police are not the criminals. Like, the criminals are the criminals. That is why they're called that, criminals. Okay, I hope we're still on the same page here. So Mr. Adrian, I think it was Rucker, who is the suspect who has been taken into custody after, they said, like 22 hours of looking for him or whatever after the fact. Supposedly, if I have my facts straight, had a rifle. So one suspect was in pursuit, I guess his friend, let's say, went up to the apartment and the police was behind them. And then when they got in, kicked the door, opened the door, whatever the case may be, here comes Mr. Rucker with a rifle, and he points it at the police. Now, I'm going to pause here to explain to you what happens when someone points a gun at you and you're not the police. Okay, let's just take police out of it. You point your rifle at me. Let's just ignore I came into your apartment, because guess what? The police have the right to hot pursuit. I don't know where y'all getting this from as well, that police cannot chase people. I saw that in the comment. I thought police couldn't chase people. Well, that's silly, because we'd never get any crime accomplished here. We'd never get any criminals apprehended. Oh, I'm running. Can't chase me. All you gotta do is run and you're free. This isn't, what was that? It. Y'all think y'all playing it. You touch base, you're free to go. It's not like that. And I need y'all to come back to reality. because someone has lied to you. Okay. So you in the apartment. Let's just say you walked into somebody's apartment. The door was wide open. Let's just come on, let's do it with me. You walk in, the door is wide open, and they pull out a rifle and they point it at you. Now, you didn't break in. They didn't say, "Hey, get out." They didn't say, "I'm defending myself because you walked in with a gun." You didn't come in violently. Let's just say, I'm not saying that's what the police did. I'm just saying, I just start from this base with me. Pulling out that rifle and pointing it at an individual is armed assault with a deadly weapon. Now, whether it's defensible or not is a whole nother scenario. Because again, if now what I stated as possible qualifying conditions, you walked in as a threat, you broke the door down. Breaking the door down now gives an act of violence. That's breaking and entering. You're now possibly about to commit a felony against me. So now I have the right to protect you have castle doctrine. I have the right to protect my home. I don't think Illinois calls it castle doctrine, but it's essentially the same principle, which is I'm in my home and you broke my barrier to my home, and I now have the right to defend my home. Illinois, I think, has something a little softer than that, but it's basically, once you've you've broke and entered into my home, and I don't know at this point if you're going to harm me. So now I have the right, in some respects, to defend myself, not necessarily my property. So I think that is the distinction. I could be wrong. Please let me know in the comments. I didn't get into all that right now, but I have a general idea of how breaking and entering works, and that's what we're going off of here. So if you think you can come in and make threats to me, right? I have the right to defend myself. Then I can use that as a defense as to why I picked up my rifle and I pointed it at you, because I knew that had I not done that, I would likely lose life or limb. Okay. This is defense of an assault. Okay. An assault just simply means you're looking to attack someone. Not that you accomplished attacking them, not that you actually attacked them, not that you started and failed, but that you were looking to attack. And it appeared as if this individual was coming towards me to harm me. Okay. So I'm coming at you with a hammer. That is assault. I'm screaming at you and I'm running up on you with my hands. That is assault. I swing and I miss. That is assault. I need y'all to get it together here. Those are crimes. Misdemeanor or felony would depend on the severity. But if you do it with a deadly weapon against police making lawful orders for you to stop, you are definitely getting into the felony territory, and you're definitely running out of defenses, okay? And when said police are now in your unit trying to stop a crime or prevent a crime, and you brandish a rifle and point it at officers, and at some point an officer is injured, you can now, I don't care how they got injured, because you set the stage for the occurrence. You are the causation. This is very key to law, is causation. Who started it? How did you reasonably know that the result could be whatever the result was? If you end up getting your homies together to go rob a bank, and y'all said in the car, "Oh, we ain't gonna shoot nobody," but y'all took a gun, and somehow, let's say y'all don't even pull out the gun or shoot nobody, but say the security guard pulls out a gun and shoots your friend and kills him, you are now liable for his death, committing a felony act where you could have seen foreseeably through your recklessness, through your negligence, that this could be the result. You can now be charged with his death. as a homicide, first degree, like you done it. Hell, we just got through talking about this with Larry Hoover. It's the same. It's the same concept. You solicited the murder. The murder got completed. You knew that was gonna happen. You are now the murderer, just as much the murderer as the other person in the eyes of the law. I'm not saying that's how it all should always pan out, but that's how the law looks at it. And so, unless you're going to change the laws, you're gonna have to learn how to abide by them or work some way civilly to correct them. But this denial of what police do is crazy to me. Police chase criminals. Criminal, and police chase criminals. Okay. And so the partner's gun in Miss Krystal Rivera's situation, per all official reports so far, we don't have body cam yet, which we will get hopefully once COPA has reviewed everything. But so far, we have to go off of official statements from the officers on the scene, the surviving officer, the partner, from whatever forensics they've collected thus far, whatever other tools they had at their disposal, which would have been the body cam. So the police, I'm sure, have viewed body cam footage. And so their reports are that this officer unintentionally shot Officer Rivera in between her vests, and she died from that shot. Now, people are saying it's fishy that the car caught fire and they had to crash or whatever, and then they had to get into another vehicle. Could be. I don't know. But I just have to say for myself, I'm not asking you to think this, but I just have to say for myself, logically, with all of the oversight, the cameras, all of the monitoring, all of the scene being run over with all these people and so publicly done, I don't understand why I would, and how, honestly, I would set fire to my vehicle driving it, first of all. Like, I've seen these theories that, like, somehow the partner then made the car catch fire. Like he's some wizard, okay? If that was the case, I don't think he would have had to set the gun off. He could have just done it with his mind. He could have, whatever. I don't know. The angle now is they were lovers. I've seen this. And that the relationship, you guys are crazy, okay? Everything ain't a damn, I don't know. What do you guys watch now? I remember it was Maury Povich. I don't watch TV. Jerry Springer. Everything is not some Tyler Perry script, okay? Like, just be happening, okay? Sometimes it's a coincidence. But at the end of the day, you have to stop jumping to conclusions and take a moment and think logically. And so I'm not saying that there was no foul play. I won't know until everything comes out. But the idea that this officer would chance that with all of the oversight and all of the things that they would have, like, you would have to lie to 50 people to get away with this. And then 50 people would have to lie with you. And I just don't see that happening in this case. You don't think if you were trying to take out your partner, you would not have had a less obvious chance to do it? I'm just saying. I just want y'all to use your brains a little bit. So anyway, unfortunately, Krystal Rivera passed from her wounds as they tried to transport her to the hospital, or once she arrived there, she was pronounced dead in whatever time frame. So they said June 12th is Adrian Rucker's detention hearing. And then there's an ongoing COPA investigation, possibly into the partner's negligence. Now, I've seen people asking for him to be charged with her murder. And again, we need to understand what murder means, okay? Felony murder via proximate cause, okay? Let's talk about that first. Rucker didn't fire the weapon, but he brandished the gun. The partner is not going to receive charges, likely, because it was unintentional. They've already said that. And the formula for murder is usually not always, but like 99.9% of the time, intent and the act means culpa and means rea. Mens rea, mens culpa, whatever is Latin. Okay. So you have to actually mean to kill this person and then do it. That's the formula for murder. Anything lesser than that as far as intent would be manslaughter. Okay. Now, would he get charged with manslaughter? Well, that's where we get caught in who else was responsible. Because was he the proximate cause? Was he the established reason for why this happened? Was the partner the reason that this happened? Or was this felon who was running and pointed a gun the reason? Allegedly. Okay. So let me see. Let's just pull up. I wanted to show. Hey, let me get my screens together. One second. This is the FOP John Cataranza. I think it's his last name. Oh my god, let's see if this works. Ooh, yes. Okay.
Pursuing, jumped over a couch and out of the way. And as he jumped over a couch...
Okay, here we go. Hopefully you guys can hear that.
There we are in Memorial Courtyard. I needed a kind of a day to wrap my head around what's occurred the last day and a half. Today, we're here to remember Officer Krystal Rivera, star number 19020, tragically taken from us in an accidental misfire. I want to speak on that. There's a lot of people who proclaim themselves use of force experts, even Monday morning quarterbacks, who are going to have something negative to say about this situation. I can tell you the facts are very simple. Krystal and her partner pursued an armed offender into a building. Once inside the double set of doors, the suspect was making phone calls for someone to buzz him into the building completely. When that person buzzed the offender through the second set of doors, that opened the outside door for Krystal and her partner to pursue the suspect up the stairs, at which time he ran into an apartment, slammed the door, and as the door was slamming, the partner kicked the door open and ran into the apartment along with Krystal. The offender they were pursuing jumped over a couch and out of the way. And as he jumped over a couch, the partner clearly saw, along with Krystal, a second person in the apartment pointing a rifle at both of them. The partner was drawing his weapon, trying to get out of the fatal funnel, and so was Krystal trying to get back out of the apartment as she turned. The incidental misfire occurred, and it struck Krystal between the two panels on the side in her ribs, tragically taking her life. I don't think if anybody tried to duplicate that scenario, they could come up with the same result, nor would we want to. This is not a time to be playing Monday morning quarterback or pointing fingers or blame. I assure you, her partner feels absolutely devastated and horrible for the tragedy that night. I was at the hospital and all throughout the night, and I could also tell you that he had no idea that he even fired his weapon. He thought the single shot he heard came from the rifle, and that struck Krystal. That was clear as day that he had no idea that he actually even fired his weapon until there was a administrative download and there was a round missing. There's going to be some long days ahead for him, for the family, for her daughter. Our job, as it always is to be there for them and for him. I don't really have much more to say. I just really hope people heed the advice of let's honor our sister, remember her sacrifice and the job that she loved doing and she was phenomenal at. And we'll move forward from there. But our brother also needs a lot of support today, tomorrow, for the rest of his life. And happy birthday, Bella. I know it's not really happy, but you now have a whole lot of extra parents that are going to make sure that are going to be in your life for the rest of your life in Krystal's memory. Thank you. We'll have more on the arrangements when we know them.
So I'm not saying that she's that the partner is he is completely innocent here, but I mean from there it's kind of hard to say that this was intentional. So like I said, we'll have all the facts come out, but I just want people to understand that y'all were not there, and you would want everybody to do the due diligence to ensure the truth comes out for your suspected activities if you were a suspect or whatever the case may be. But there's just this hate for the police. It's an overwhelming disdain for Chicago police, for the ICE officials. Okay. Um, and I mean, maybe it's the Trump derangement syndrome. It's just so bad that people just cannot fathom agreeing with anything he's done. Because I mean, I seen y'all mad about taking the dyes out of foods. Just the no tax on tips somehow was unpopular with you guys. Elon brought the astronauts back. I mean, they've been hitting major points on every front here, and I I can't even get people to acknowledge that he brought back 300,000 kids that were or not 300,000, like 50,000, I want to say, missing children. It's like 300,000 missing children from the Biden Harris administration because they just abandoned all of the protocols to ensure that children were safely being placed, if they came unaccompanied minors. They abandoned all of the laws around the border, especially those involving children. And you guys don't want to ask yourself why. That's your right. But just not even acknowledging that the children are missing, let alone that Trump prioritized returning them to safe places. We're hoping all of them. But there's been multiple stories of children that were placed with, people who were doing harmful things to them already. And the sources are out there. Please go look it up. There's just this ongoing resistance to law. Okay, the resistance to logic, resistance to law, and it's a little disturbing. It's more than disturbing. It's chaotic because, as we've seen, some really crazy things have been going on in LA. Some really crazy things have been going on in LA. So let me see if I got some footage here to share with you guys. I need my stream to stop acting crazy when I show the video. We got this, okay? We got this. No say. All right, we're gonna try this again. I just hope I don't lose my. So let's look at this one.
Holy cow, they're throwing bricks at the police.
Like where they do that at? where they do that at? Dígame. Is that okay with y'all? Is that okay with y'all? Because I can't understand. I can't understand why that's the thing to do. I really can't. I can't figure out why my screen want that mess everything up. But on to this. Let me see if we can get proper. You're rude. You're so rude. You're so rude, aren't you? Hold on. Let me see if I can do something technical here really quick. Otherwise, I'm just going to die. So I'm just going to die. All right. So hopefully this works. Oops, not that. I just want y'all to see how crazy this is though. Like, it's really wild. Oh, this one was great.
I want you to, hello, Congresswoman Waters. I just came to use my congressional authority to check on David.
Yeah, we're logging securely now to all visitors.
Excuse me, I need to get in.
Contact our public affairs.
I need to get in.
What are you hoping to do, Congresswoman?
I just want to see David Huerta. Right.
Would a congressperson normally be able to enter the...
Normally, yes.
What is happening
Yes.
here?
Well, there were some of the authorities, I don't know who they were, and I'm trying to get in to see David Huerta, who they have arrested. He is the head of SEIU local union here. I don't know why he was targeted. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know whether they're going to deport him. I want to report back to my caucus about... I want you to... Hello, Congresswoman Waters. I just came to use my congressional authority to check on David.
Yeah, we're logging securely now to all visitors.
Excuse me, I need to get in.
Contact our public affairs.
I need to get in.
What are you hoping to do, Congresswoman?
I just want to see David Huerta. Right.
Would a congressperson normally be able to enter the...
Normally.
So this one was interesting. I'm like, why do y'all think y'all can throw Molotov cocktails at police and yeah. I mean, I call that good get back right there. I'm not condoning this, but I don't know. Like, I mean, there's only so much you could take. You're throwing firecrackers. You guys think this is a joke. I just remember my police used to go out and beat on people. Okay. In what was this? Rodney King. It was not that long ago. Okay. The police I used to know beat on people. So yeah, I'm not understanding. Like, we have gotten so far away from actual laws, like actually doing the right thing. And I think part of that is these people right here. Like, y'all insane, because like you get on camera and you're admitting that you're not doing your job as aldermen, but you're out here trying to break the law. Like, you're not accomplishing anything. Oh, thank you, Team 7 Ninjutsu. I never say it right. Hold on, let me see. Look, I'm having all the technical difficulties right now, so let's hopefully that works. But yeah, this was last week in the South Loop in Chicago.
Y aún así sabíamos, basado en la política y lo que estamos viendo, las llamadas que nos están tomando, que la podían detener hoy. Vino con sus abogados.
They're gonna go one way or the other. Just like that David
separados de
guy.
ella. Tratamos de mandarle mensaje, obtener sus pertenencias, nos las negaron.
We're not playing anymore. Like, I don't know what
Recomendamos a todos los que tengamos que hacer esa decisión imposible.
Like it, change it.
Working groups in our communities, and we have a network.
I'm sorry. Here we go. This is Mr. Quesadilla. I'm trying to get.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anthony Joel Quesada, and I'm the alderman of Chicago's 35th Ward. That's Quesada, Quezada. This afternoon, a number of us, of elected officials, were mobilized because we are members of deportation defense working groups in our communities. And we have a network of groups that coordinate citywide. And we were notified about the activities that were happening at this location earlier today, as Shanat mentioned. When we arrived, I spoke with members of people who were detained, family members of people who were detained, saying that they had no information about the status of their family members. We attempted to go inside. I went in with a daughter of someone who was detained, and they wouldn't answer any of our questions. And they actually mistreated the young person in there. And I said, you need to have respect. This is a young person looking out for their family member. And the callous response that these people have is shameful. It is absolutely shameful. I'm also quite disappointed at the very curt and cold responses that we sometimes receive by the Chicago Police Department. We have sanctuary laws in the city. We have the Trust Act, law in the state of Illinois. We want to make sure that our local law enforcement is compliant with the laws that we passed. So we ask for calm and patience as we're trying to identify all the information that's going on here today. I also want to congratulate and thank and honor all of the many dozens of community members who came out here today in solidarity and in compassion for our community members who were detained. Shortly after the Chicago Police Department departed from the area, we saw ICE officials and federal agents then start to amass vehicles to try and get into this driveway. Myself, Alderwoman Rossana Rodriguez, and Cook County Commissioner Jessica Vasquez then stood to block the driveway, practicing our First Amendment right and practicing nonviolent civil disobedience, because right now we need the moral clarity and courage to fight back against these harmful, evil policies of separation. We as public officials and we as community members must stand up and reject these policies that are devastating families. When ICE officials couldn't get in the first time, they tried wrapping around the building, and our communities back there prevented them as well. Then, in a Gestapo fashion, 50 agents or so walked down the street, stood right here in front of the driveway, then aggressively came through, knocked me down, assaulted me and other community members here today, then pulled out weapons and also pulled out their sticks, pushing some of us, punching some of us to get through to this driveway. After they did that, they cleared out the driveway, then they came down the sidewalk where they again assaulted and pushed and punched many of us in this group, including myself. I was pushed down 3 times today by ICE agents. And I was willing to do that because that, again, is the kind of moral clarity and courage that we need to be enacting to have the dignity to fight for people. After ICE agents secured the door, over 10 people were brought out in handcuffs. Fathers, our neighbors, mothers, people were coming out here in line, crying, demanding that they not be taken away, while their family members stood on the side, crying for them to be released.
How many people do you know? How many people do you know that were arrested and that you could stand in front of the police and stop the police from arresting them? How many tears could you cry to stop the police from taking a suspect in? I'm just trying to figure the logic here, okay? I cry to the police while they're trying to do their job, after I assault them maybe, and then I see what happens next. They're still going to jail. They still got to wait on their trial or whatever process they're supposed to get. And I'm talking about our American citizens here because, again, if you don't come through the ports of entry, you don't show up to your hearings, You don't apply for your paperwork like you're supposed to. There is no guarantee of due process. I'm really trying to figure out where we're getting this from. Why do we believe that you can just do whatever you want and cry about it and someone's going to stop following the law? Like, we are so lost. And this Anthony Quesada is a total nincompoop because, yeah, ICE agents are supposed to aggressively and forcefully arrest people. I saw one of the captions from the news, one of the news articles that day. It was like, ICE aggressively arrests people. Like, yeah. Or no, forced arrest. I was like, what the freak is a forced arrest? All arrests are forced. Okay, no? Aren't all arrests forced? Like, am I missing something here? So we've gotten so far away from law and order. And then you've got people like J.B. Pritzker who want to say that conservatives shouldn't know a moment of peace. You've got some of our aldermen, like I said, you just saw here, they want to take off work and destroy things and get in front of ICE agents, by the way, who were not detained or not deterred from completing their mission here. Okay, these people still ended up, as you heard from Quesada himself, they did all that and they were like, they did it this time, but they're not going to do it again. Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. So I'm just trying to figure this out. You guys cannot cry your way out of the laws. You cannot burn your way out of the laws. I mean, you can try, but I don't encourage you to, because there's going to be consequences. Trump sent the National Guard into LA because, quite frankly, y'all were asking for it. Like, I'm again not understanding, why do people think they can just do what they want to do? The police don't chase. ICE don't deport. These are their jobs. Alder people don't alder. This is what we come to. Okay? Like, I'm perturbed, okay? I'm really perturbed. So, I think I clicked on the wrong thing. So yeah, I believe these are manufactured crises. These people are supposed to be coming to Illinois or to Chicago tomorrow during people's work periods and such. And it's just not, it doesn't look good for us. The United States looks absolutely weak, okay? And then you got people like Alderman Quesada and Governor Newsom and Karen Bass, okay, basically making excuses for lawlessness. And it's not going to be a good outcome. I'm hoping that elected officials speak up and stop making excuses for this stuff, because it's highly dangerous. They don't care if you get hurt going out there protesting. They don't care if you burn your own neighborhood down protesting. And it's not even protesting. Let's stop calling it that as well. It's not even protesting. You are breaking the law. You are looting, you are rioting, you are tearing up your own neighborhoods. Grandma already can't get no prescriptions because y'all done tore down half of the Walgreens, or, looted up most of the stores in the neighborhoods, and now they've not reopened. Walgreens was mad because they couldn't keep cheating people out of their prescription drugs no more, so they start closing up locations. Okay, grandma ain't got nowhere to go get her stuff from the drugstore and the corner store because of y'all ass. And then you gonna let that ish spread back over here after we just got through fixing stuff up from 2020? I don't think so. These older people want y'all to crash out. These mayors want you to crash out. These governors want you to crash out because they don't want you to be safe. They don't want law and order because they know they have fumbled so hard and they're probably going to end up in jail. And so the only solution is, if we keep enough bull crap up, if we keep enough violence up, we can cause so much disorder and so much disruption that hopefully we won't go to jail. It's like a Negro on his third strike. You you're not gonna they're not gonna cooperate. They're not gonna do they know it's over. Just like this guy that was running from the police. That was running from Rivera and her partner. Like, they knew it was over. He knew it was over. So he said, you know what? Let me crash out. Because what choice do I have? And so we can't just keep applauding this stuff, especially as Black women in these neighborhoods. I'm really concerned about why we think this cool. Like, it's not. It's so not cool. So if you think that you can just do whatever you want to do, and you want everyone around you to just do whatever they want to do, they don't like something, they can cry about it like Anthony Quesada, or the children that he said were out there hurt about their parents getting deported. You had an opportunity to teach those children about cause and effect, but you chose to say no. Just come out here and act a clown, and everything will be okay. Right? And then you got these people, like I said, defending the guy who was brandishing the weapon at the police. You had a chance to have a lesson to the youth that, hey, guys, you can be held responsible for your actions, with police. Just go into custody, okay? You will have your day in court, okay? But pulling a gun out, right? And we can't win these arguments now that we're afraid of the police, hands up, don't shoot, because if you can pull out a gun and run, then you're not that afraid of them. And that is a problem for me as a tax-paying citizen who wants to be safe in my neighborhoods. Like, I don't want y'all to feel confident enough that y'all can just shoot at the police. I don't know where y'all come from that y'all can condone this shit. Like, it's crazy. And so now you pay all these taxes, all of these fines, they putting boots on your cars and all types of stuff, right? And now you're gonna turn around and let somebody tear your whole city up. All your tax dollars, everything you work for, just let them come on over here and tear it up. All at the beck and call of some politicians that never cared about you. Maxine Waters out there egging on the police, saying, you guys have rifles, you better shoot straight. Are you going to shoot us? Why do you have guns? Are y'all insane? So y'all want police without guns now? Like, let's be for real. I don't know what kind of sick Disney movie y'all been living in for the last 4 to 5 years, but I'm done. I'm done talking to people like we're peers because we're clearly not. Okay. This Krystal Rivera situation is sad. I need people to calm down, because at the end of the day, these police are doing a job that y'all don't want to do. Y'all don't want to confront these people. I know plenty of Black men in the hood that will not say nothing to no young men doing some out-of-pocket stuff. They done took the police out of the schools. They don't have male teachers and male principals in a lot of these schools. So now you just got men, with all this energy and all this testosterone, right? And then on top of that, the confusion of the world. And then on top of that, you got these military-aged men that they done brought in from all these countries that have gone through God knows what and don't have any respect for any type of laws here, because they see how soft we are, and they know where they came from, and they know what kind of crap they can get away with over there or bring over here. You invited and crashing out for the gangs. We got Abrego Garcia, was the Maryland man who was mistakenly deported. But now you guys realize he's back because of trafficking and child porn. But I don't expect no apologies from everybody that was trying to call me names and say all this trash to me on TikTok when I was pointing these facts out. You guys have no idea how bad this can get, clearly, because if you did, you would stop, like full stop, so quick, and demand that these politicians stop giving lip service, stop egging people on, and actually uphold the laws and protect their constituents and the citizens of their said demographics, of their said, towns and cities and states and wards. But we've lost ourselves as people. We don't understand what the Constitution means. We don't understand what community means. We don't care about law and order. The law comes from God. The law comes from nature. The first laws were natural law, cause and effect. And if you can't understand that, don't worry, the judge will. Be it God, be it the one behind the bench at your hearing, right? Be it your mama, your daddy. There's too much lawlessness. There's too many men out here that don't have to answer to nothing in their minds, including our politicians. The Byron Cicho Lopez and Anthony Quesada and Rosanna Rodriguez and whoever else. These people think that they can uphold lawlessness and do it in a lawless fashion. They crashing out. Somebody got to stop. And somebody got to go, no, these are protests that have turned into riots, that are turning into insurrections. That's why the National Guard got called out to LA. It wasn't because Trump was trying to be a bully to LA. No, LA wasn't running LA. LA went wild. And if you a taxpayer out there and you enjoying that, let me know how it's going to turn out for you when you ain't got no stores to go to, when the food supplies can't make it through there because these people done tore up every road and bridge that was supposed to get your food there. It's all fun and games until you can't eat. It's all fun and games until you pick up the phone for the police and ain't nobody answering. It's all fun and games till it's your family bleeding out there on the sidewalk. You want to come to this country, that's fine, but you got to follow the laws. You got to do what you're supposed to do the correct way and respect this country. I've seen plenty of people saying, what the hell I look like? And I'm seeing Mexicans trying to tell other Mexicans, why are you flying a Mexican flag talking about you don't want to go home? I'm confused. We could never do that. We could never go to, Mexico and wave American flags and say F Mexico and F y'all laws. And hell yeah, I'm staying here. I don't care how long I overstayed my visa. And while you at it, give me a link card. And while you at it, tell your politician to stop doing their job for you and come over here and protest with me and get knocked down 3 times and stand in front of a van. It's delusion. I don't believe y'all. I really think this is the new zombie. This is the zombie apocalypse. Because there's no way y'all not brain dead up here that you can't correlate people getting hurt because y'all can't follow law and order. And then the nerve of the city council to say that they're going to investigate why the police was out there. Well, hell, y'all was out there getting pushed on the ground 3 times. Somebody was supposed to show up to protect you, I guess. Like, what do you think this is? You can't have it both ways. The police have an oath to serve and protect the community. That's their job. They get up every day. So if y'all get out there and y'all congregate and somebody gonna get hurt at a protest, they're supposed to show up. Idiots. You idiot aldermen who act like y'all don't know the damn laws. That's how I know it's some bullshit. Y'all supposed to know the laws. That's your job. Please don't get up here trying to say now you don't know why the police and we're going to investigate. This shit is all theater. But people, real people, are going to get and are already getting hurt. Black Lives Matter was a scam. And if y'all want to keep believing police not supposed to chase and police not supposed to arrest and police not supposed to have guns, just go ahead and abolish the damn police then. And let me know how you think that's going to work out for you. Because ain't none of y'all ready to be deputized. Ain't none of y'all ready to defend nothing. Half of y'all can't run around a damn block one time. So what you think you gonna do when the lawlessness is everywhere you look? Because it'll catch on real fast, as you saw how quick all that ish grew in LA. And now they bringing it here supposedly tomorrow. And then our mayor goes and doubles down. And the city council is going and doubling down. I need everybody investigated. This is treason. Our forefathers would never. Could never, would never. That's what this is. It's no less than that. You cannot uphold the Constitution. You cannot protect U.S. citizens. You cannot defend your land. And instead, you're defending foreigners. And instead, you're fighting your police who took an oath to these people on this soil. Your military, your National Guard. These crazy people was throwing bricks and cinder blocks off of a damn bridge onto an expressway. Never mind, you can hit a civilian. You hate the police that bad, you gonna hit grandma. This is the zombie apocalypse. And it's these brain dead leftists. Because like I said, Trump's so bad, Project 2025, oh my God, end of the world. Yet he ain't done nothing out of the ordinary. And if anything, if you look policy for policy, this man been trying to bring us back for real, for real. Getting this weird stuff out of the schools. Getting this weird stuff out of your food. Getting these weirdos up out of your country that don't love the country and want to love another country that they claim they was running from. I need y'all to wake up. Because somebody gonna really get hurt. And I hope it's not gonna be you. And with that said, again, RIP to Krystal Rivera. My prayers are definitely with her partner and her daughter. And I'm hoping that the facts all come out. But I'm not defending Adrian Rucker. Okay, I'm sorry, I wanted to pull up his rap sheet real quick before we finish. Because that, I don't think y'all getting it. I don't think you're getting it. Hold on one second. I know I had it up here. I'll just Google it again. Hold on one second. Adrian Rucker rap sheet. Ugh, why my internet acting like this? I got too many windows open. Child. We almost there. I think it's still looking. Hold on. I was like, I know I pulled it up. Is it that long? No, let me stop. Okay, here we go. Adrian Rucker, 25 years old, okay? Y'all don't want to hold the kids accountable. And what do you think happens? Once you turn 25, it's over with. 18, 25, it's over with. You had your chance. That's my other problem with the teen takeovers. Y'all want to keep their good kids. They got nowhere to go. I wish somebody would tell me my child was downtown acting a fool. Because guess what? I'm coming down there and I'm grabbing them up And there will be no more outside or downtown till you learn how to act like you got some dang on sense. My kids know they better not be caught up with nobody doing no ish, cause I'm touching everything, moving. But y'all ain't acting like y'all care. If you don't see no activities for your kids in your neighborhood, create the activities. Who is stopping you? Them people in Lincoln Park, if they don't have activities at their park district, because I know out south the activities fill up real fast. But if they got pool, they got open swim, I don't see nobody out there. Basketball courts, baseball diamonds. We used to go, my mama would grab the kids up and we'll all take a softball and go play pity pat or whatever you call it. Like, make the activities. Even when we used to stand around on the block, we knew once certain people showed up and certain things started happening, it was time to go. Go in the house. You got to do in there. Y'all got video games. Y'all can play cards. Like, I'm not buying it. Stop making excuses for these kids to do whatever they want. Stop making excuses for the illegals to do whatever they want. Stop making excuses for your politicians to do whatever they want. 25-year-old Adrian Rucker, hometown Freeport, Illinois. Why is he even over here? Okay, causing trouble in our city, because that's where he could get away with it at, because we so soft on crime and we got this goofy ass mayor. He got all these aliases. James Morris, Juan Aguilar. They said he was making fake IDs. Outstanding warrants at the time of arrest, 6 across Cook County, Winnebago, and Stevenson counties. Included charges for domestic battery. Y'all defending domestic terrorists, domestic batterers, child porn, solicitors, human traffickers. Y'all hang out with an unsavory bunch. Money launderers, treasoners. What they call? What's the word for it? You know what I'm trying to say. Insurrectionists. Okay. Identity theft. So he's beating women. He's stealing identities. If this shit happened to you, you wouldn't like it, would you? Unlawful firearm discharge as a juvenile in Stevenson. Auto theft from Texas. Various failure to appear warrants. Don't let him get extradited back to Texas. It's over. Because they ain't going to play with him down there. But we like to play. That's why he up here. Convictions and sentencing. Misdemeanor. Domestic battery, property damage. Stevenson County. Sentenced 44 days in jail plus 30 months probation in 2021. Felony property damage 2021 probation served. Current charges since May 2025. Armed violence. Aggravated unlawful use of a weapon, no FOID. Even though the FOID is unconstitutional, but the point is that's the law, and you ain't following it. And I don't want him with no gun. Possession of fraudulent IDs, 20 or more from various states. This mug is doing interstate felonies. Possession of narcotics. Cocaine, heroin, and marijuana. Multiple weapons found, 2 AR-style rifles, and a Glock. And then he fled from the police, ran into the apartment, raised and pointed an AR rifle at officers. Even though he ain't fired a shot, somebody died. Y'all want him free? Keep screaming, free him. Go ahead then. I hope he can find his next home with you. Since you out here screaming free him. And then he gonna take your IDs. And go do crimes in your name. Now you won't have no Uber account no more. That's what you want. I need to make it real, I guess. I don't know. What do you think happens with this stuff? So, yes, felony assault of brandishing a rifle at police definitely is going to fall under murder of approximate cause due to her death if he don't have a good lawyer, and if the body camera shows for certain that he showed that gun, pulled that gun and aimed it, and whatever the consequences were or the circumstances were that the officer misfired or accidentally had his gun go off, it's over with for him. And y'all bet not go outside trying to tear nothing up for this felon. Because I see y'all crying online about getting your identity stolen. I see y'all crying online about your domestic violence incident. You can't have it both ways. And that's really just as simple as it is. So, on that note, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm hoping that tomorrow, whatever occurs with that we still have a city to enjoy for summertime shy, but y'all keep letting these envious, ratchet criminals come to your town, come to your land, and destroy it. And then they get to go back somewhere else. You don't have nowhere else. I'm really trying to figure this out, Black America. We have no other land to return to. Your neighborhoods typically are where you're living and dying. Okay, you can go try and go to another state. I'm going to Florida. I'm going here. I'm going there. That's fine. But this shit is spreading everywhere. You're not going to run everywhere. And why should you have to? You pay taxes here. You grew up here. You made this city what it was and what it is, and this country what it is. Your ancestors made this country what it is. Why do you have to now flee? Because the lawless have taken over. When you could have just spoken up and asked the people who are supposed to uphold the law to do so with your blessing. Because I refuse to believe y'all hate the police so bad off of George Floyd and several other incidences that have happened with people who have questionably acted in some circumstances. Not saying they deserve to die, but saying these people were no angels. And you have to take accountability for the circumstances that you put yourself into. Crossing the border without stopping at Border Patrol. And then avoiding whatever you were supposed to do to check in or committing crimes. There's consequences. Sorry to your children. They don't want to be separated, then get them a ticket to come back home with you. You didn't care that much about being separated from your child if you didn't do what you were supposed to do to stay with them. Because I know good and damn well I wouldn't go to no other country, leave my child, or bring my child to another country, and I ain't made sure I had all my I's dotted and my T's crossed. Because I know the consequences, and I damn sure ain't about to come over there and start doing no crimes. Wasn't nobody worried about separating black families with Joe Biden and them and they crime bills and Bill Clinton and they crime bills. Nobody was worried about separating black families. Please don't crash out black people, because you gonna look real stupid. And stop blaming the police for trying to do their job. Ask your politicians to do their job, and you as parents and community members to do your job to protect the vulnerable people around you, because that's all of our job. If you able-bodied and you able-minded, you supposed to be taking care of the feeble. And that's all I got to say about that. So I appreciate y'all for joining me. I hope everybody stays safe, has a beautiful, prosperous summer. And we'll talk again. I just got to figure out my laggy stream and all this other stuff going on. But we're going to get it together. But I appreciate y'all. And let me know what y'all feel about any of these situations in the comments. I know I pissed a few people off on a couple other posts because people hate the police so much. They don't like the law. But it's like you want the law to work for you when it's your turn. So that's what the law, that's why you got blind justice. You got the scales and there's the bandana over her eyes, because you're not supposed to be worried about who it is. The law is the law is the law. Justice is justice is justice. So it don't matter if the person crying on the sideline while ISIS got the cuffs out. It don't matter if they brown like you. It don't matter if they a woman.